my channel. This video is gonna be a full face Friday on e.l.f. cosmetics. This is probably gonna be a very long video. I do have quite a bit of e.l.f. products. I'm not gonna talk about all of them. I feel like e.l.f. is probably one of those brands that I have enough stuff that I could do a full week of e.l.f. Especially if you would want any tutorials or anything like that. If you would be interested in something like that, let me know in the comments below. I think I might have found some dupes from e.l.f. or other brands. I will mention those along, but I would want to test them against each other later on and actually see if they are dupes or not. Again, if you'd be interested in something like that, let me know in the comments below. So for today's video, what we're going to talk about is all the products that I applied on my face. They're all from e.l.f. I'll tell you what I would recommend, what I wouldn't recommend. I try to use mainly e.l.f. brushes. And again, that's a whole other thing. I do love a lot of e.l.f. brushes, and I would recommend pretty much all of them that I've tried. I haven't tried one of them that I'm like, oh, this brush sucks. So we're not gonna talk about brushes because again, this video would be way too long, and nobody's got time to watch all of that. So if you're interested about the products that I applied on my face for today and what I thought about them, please keep watching. And again, if you'd want any tutorial on maybe like this look or anything like that, let me know in the comments below. Let's get into it. We'll start with, I have all of my products right here in front of me. I know a lot of e.l.f. products like don't have the name on them. Once you throw away the packaging, it's just gone. So I'm gonna be referring back to their website to tell you exactly what some of these products are called. So if I'm looking at my phone or I'm looking down, that's what I'm trying to do. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started with the face products that I used for today and I would highly recommend. Okay, so the first thing that I went into today is the e.l.f. Hydrating Coconut Mist. I washed my face and then kind of like prepping my face. I didn't use a moisturizer or anything like that. I just sprayed this all over my face. I love the mist of this. It's very fine. It covers pretty much the whole face, so it's not like shooting in one spot. It has a wide mist. It smells like coconut. It smells absolutely like comforting and kind of like tropical a little bit, but not like sweet tropical, but like, you know, coconut water, pina coladas kind of thing. Okay. I would highly recommend this product. When e.l.f. had their sale, I picked up a few as a backup. This retails for $6, so I got them. I've picked them up previously on e.l.f. sales, like the 50% off sales for $4 for half off, $3. I would recommend it. It is kind of really nice, kind of how you would use a primer water, you know, like the primer mist from Smashbox. Same sort of effect, but this has a really nice scent. It does leave the skin a little dewy. I let it dry all the way, and I've used this throughout the day, like when I feel like my skin needs a little bit something. I've used it throughout the day. I wouldn't recommend it for a setting spray, but I definitely would recommend it as like a primer mist, a throughout the day mist. Another one that I've tried from e.l.f. and I really do like, but not as much as I like this, is the e.l.f. Soothing Aloe Mist. I use this mainly when I feel like my skin just a little bit irritated. Maybe I tried some sort of product that didn't really work for me. I like this. I do not like this throughout the day. I feel like it kind of breaks down my makeup. It doesn't leave it dewy or give me that natural look that I would get from this if I use a matte like a matte foundation. This kind of like a little breaks my makeup, but just like a mist in the evening, like after you wash your face or you feel like you need that kind of soothing, it definitely is soothing. I do really like it, but again, I would not recommend it over makeup, or this I really like over makeup. That was a long ramble. Let's go ahead and talk about some new products from e.l.f. I feel like e.l.f. kind of turning into a ColourPop, or maybe ColourPop is now the new e.l.f. releases all the time. So this is one of e.l.f.'s new products, and it is called the Sheer Blurring Under Eye Primer. Okay, I picked this guy up maybe like 2 weeks ago, and I have been using it every single day. It kind of has a little bit of a peachy tint to it, but it's not like peachy to the point that it corrects your under eye. It has a very, very soft, like velvety feeling. When I apply it, it does have a little bit of coverage, very little tiny bit of coverage. So if I have really dark circles, I feel like a little bit of coverage, but I love like how filling and soft my under eye area feels. Compared to the e.l.f., the old one that they had, the e.l.f. Under Eye Primer, which I do also have and I would really, really recommend. That one's very hydrating, but I feel like that one is great if you're not wearing makeup because it does break down your concealer. Where this guy, I think, is meant to be used under your concealer, or maybe you can use it on days that you don't want to wear any makeup. It really fills in the area under your eye. Like if you have very fine lines, it kind of fills those in. It's not going to completely cover them. The concealer goes in very smoothly on top. I would recommend using this and going straight with a concealer. Don't use this and then do your eyeshadow, because if you do have fallout, it's kind of a tacky feeling, so they will stick to this guy. It did say on the package that you should apply it, wait 30 seconds, and then go in with the concealer. I wouldn't recommend applying it, like I said, then do an eyeshadow. Maybe do your eyeshadow first, and then use this guy, or apply it, go with concealer, set your concealer, and then do eyeshadow. Because again, it is a little bit, like, it doesn't dry completely. It's still gonna be a little bit tacky, so if you have fallouts, it will stick to it. Now, I haven't put them to the test yet, but I really feel like this is a dupe for the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector. This is a little bit more peachy tone than the e.l.f. one, but both of them do kind of give, like, see, they are next to each other, but both of them kind of do the same thing I felt under my eye. I haven't worn them like one on under each eye yet, and that's something that I'm considering doing. Is did e.l.f. really dupe this product or not? So if you're interested in something like that, let me know. But there you have it. And this guy, the e.l.f. Under Eye thing, is $5. It's still new on e.l.f.'s website, so you're not going to be able to get it on a discount yet. Maybe when they release something else you'll be able to, but it is $5. I would really recommend it. I have been enjoying it, and again, I received it very shortly after, when did I receive it? Maybe like almost 2 weeks now, and I have been using it every single day. Let's go ahead and talk about the other primer that I applied over on top of that spray I did. Again, a new product from e.l.f., and this guy is called the Poreless Putty Primer. And this guy retails for $8. I believe this is 0.7 ounces. Let me just take a quick look. 0.74 ounces. Again, this is $8. What does this remind you guys of? Anybody? For me, it reminds me a lot of this guy, the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. Let's put them both side by side. Here's e.l.f. and here's Tatcha. They're both 0.74, well, the Tatcha 0.7 ounce. Tatcha retails for what, $54? This is $8. I applied both of them. They both have the same, like, silky feel. This is the e.l.f. one. So silky, so smooth. And here's the Tatcha. They have exactly the same feel. Whether or not this actually prolongs the wear of my makeup, I'm not 100% sure, because I was testing it with a lot of other foundations, and I used it with one foundation that is just didn't work with, but nothing works with that foundation. But when I use this with the e.l.f. Flawless Foundation, my face feels and looks so smooth. So when I applied this guy on my face, it does like fill in the pores. It leaves a very soft look to my skin. You apply it and then wait 30 seconds, and then you apply the foundation. Kind of give it a little bit of time to sit on your face. I got the same kind of feel from both of them. I have not tested them side by side with the same foundation yet. I do plan on doing that. Again, this is probably another video. just a video idea. If you would be interested, let me know. But for first impressions, these are exact dupe for each other's. This again, this is $54, this is $8. So, you know, you don't get the pretty packaging and the little scooper like you do with the Tatcha with the e.l.f., but it's straight to the point, it's sleek. Again, it feels absolutely amazing. Yeah, again, I've had this, I bought it the same time that I bought the under eye primer, and I have been using it just every single day since then. I have been using it with different foundations, not just one single foundation, to just see how does it act or behave. But man, that feels so incredibly soft, so smooth, blurred, but not slippy feeling. I hate that silicone feeling, like you feel like your foundation is gonna slide off. It doesn't do that. So let's move on to the foundation. The e.l.f. foundation that I think I finally found my shade in. I've ordered 3 or 4 of these in the past. I've decluttered all of them because none of them match me. They would either be too dark, too light. Finally, I got this guy, and I think it's pretty good match. And this is the Flawless Finish foundation. The shade is Nude. I know people rave a lot about this guy because, you know, it's so affordable. But one thing that you have to keep in mind is this is $6. I guess it is, yes, it is affordable, but this is only 0.68 fluid ounces or 20 mils. So you are getting 10 mils than your typical foundation that you buy from the drugstore or anything like that, which is usually 30 mils, 1 fluid ounce. This is 0.68, so you're getting a third less than you would in another foundation, which would make its price about $9 if it was a full size. Very comparable to a drugstore, to like Maybelline, CoverGirl, stuff like that. I mean, e.l.f. is a drugstore brand. The nice thing is you can get this guy 50% off a lot of the times on e.l.f.'s website when they do their sales. So that makes it a lot more affordable than other brands. Even cheaper than Wet n Wild. The shade range is really tough to find your own shade. They don't have a very nice description. You know, like some would be light to medium with neutral undertone. They don't have anything like that. They just have various names and very like little swatches for you to tell what the shade is. Like, okay, here's a swatch. I mean, how's this gonna be helpful to anybody? It's not. And that, by the way, that's the shade Natural, which was previously called Porcelain. So that's the hard part about this. I mean, I've bought 4 to be able to find my shade. You know, kind of sucks. I've spent a lot of money doing that. I really like the look of this foundation. That's why I kept trying to buy it, find my shade. I really like how it makes my face look. It does look absolutely flawless if you use it with the proper blending tools, and we'll get to that in a minute. I'm wearing this on top of the primer. It looks absolutely beautiful. I did have a little bit of hard time blending it with the sponge that we're going to talk about in a minute. It is very highly fragranced. So every sponge I used with this guy, after like blending it and whatever, and the next day I go to use that sponge with maybe something else, the sponge still stinks like this product, but it's okay. I'm not gonna mind. I really like the look of it, and this is something I would highly, highly recommend if you can find your shade without having to buy 4 of them. Let's talk about the sponge that I used. It's sturdy because I used it today. And this is the e.l.f. sponge. I don't know exactly what it's called. I'm gonna try and show you what it looks like. So it has a little porous kind of thing. It says that you can use it wet or dry. I used it both wet and dry. Of course, when it is wet, it does it absorbs a little bit more of the foundation, and when it's dry, it doesn't absorb as much. I don't know that I like this guy. This would be kind of like on, nah, you don't really need. I wouldn't say go out and buy it. I've tried other sponges that I like better, but I'm not gonna be like, oh, this is awful, I hate it, like the CoverGirl sponge that I talked about, you know, 2 weeks ago. This one, I had a really hard time blending my foundation with it. I felt like it kind of left my foundation streaky. I don't know if it's the porous part of it so I had to really keep patting my face. Eventually it kind of did what it's supposed to do, blended it very nicely into the skin, didn't look streaky. I kind of got the same effect that I would with some brushes with certain foundations, like, you know, no matter how hard you blend, it kind of still looks streaky. Kind of got the same feel with it. So that's why I would say, you know, there's other stuff like the Real Techniques sponge. I like that. It's sort of the same shape. I think it is exactly the same shape, slanted on one side and then it's got the pointy end on the other side. This guy though expands a lot when you wet it. Like, I was shocked. Probably doubled or tripled in size. It was about this big when I wet it. It's an okay product. Again, there are other products from the drugstore for about the same price that you can get that perform a little bit better. They don't require as much blending to get an even nice finish. So if you're curious, try it, but I'm not gonna say go out and buy it. It's nothing spectacular. Let's talk about the concealer. The HD Lifting Concealer. That's one thing that I'm still waiting for e.l.f. to release, is a new concealer that is have enough shade range that okay, everyone can find their own concealer. I think they only have 4 out of this. There's the fair, the light, the medium, maybe there's a deep, maybe there's only 3. I have the shade light. This is not light by any means. This is definitely a medium. I mean, this is not light. If you're considering, if you are light and buy this is gonna be way too dark on you, I would say go with the fair. If you are medium, the light might work. Like for me, the light was kind of like, okay, it is a concealer, but it's not a highlighter. Like, I can't double duty it, kind of thing. I do really like this guy. I must have used 2 or 3 of them. Since the first time I tried it, and then I just repurchased this guy not that long ago just to kind of like use it again. I really like it. The one thing I really don't like is how little the little applicator is. So you have to go in, dip twice. You can't just dip and use under both eyes and highlight the center of your face, anything like that. That's just minor. So again, if you are light, you might want to go with the fair. If you are medium, the light or even the fair might work for you. And then, so if you are really fair, you're kind of screwed. e.l.f. doesn't have a shade for you. I'm sorry. But this guy's really good. $3. Again, you can buy it during their 50% off sale for $1.50. And I think for Cyber Monday, they had 60% off. So you could get that for $1.20. Since we're still with the face, let's continue with the products that I've used today. This guy by e.l.f. and I don't know what is it called. I have the shade Sheer. Let me look up the name real quick. Okay, so this guy is called the High Definition Powder, and I have the shade Sheer. Looks like they have sheer, they have soft luminance, and then they have a corrective yellow. I've only tried the sheer. This kind of reminds me of, who started this? Was it Makeup Forever that started these? Just a very finely milled white powder. It's like super duper finely milled. I use it to set under my eye today. I like it. I mean, it's nothing spectacular, nothing like, it's not gonna brighten or anything like that. I don't know with flash photography if this would show a white cast, since it is white. I mean, it is sheer. You're not gonna get like a white cast, kind of like how I did with the Essence Matte, what is it called? That is if you watch my other Full Face Fridays. It's not like this guy, the Essence All About Matte Fixing Compact Powder. This leaves a lot more white cast, where this, not so much. I know that they have this in a pressed form too. I haven't tried it. I've only tried the loose one. I would recommend this. They have one that's meant for under the eye. I felt like they're both exactly the same thing. Maybe the one that under the eye has a little bit of like shimmer to it, but nothing that it shows under the eye. Don't buy that. It's too little. It's $3. Buy this guy. It's $6. It works wonderful. I haven't used it to set all of my face. I've only used it under my eye. I really like it. I have no complaints about it. What I did use to set the rest of my face, and I love this thing, and it's $2, is the Prime and Stay Finishing Powder, and I have the shade Light Medium. There we go again with e.l.f. shades. There's only, what? There's 4 shades of this. There's Sheer, there's Light Medium, there's Medium Dark, and then there's Dark Deep. The Light Medium is a little bit too dark. You do get a little bit of coverage with this guy. It's not translucent by any means. It is $2. Like, that is insane. And again, this is a product that you can find on e.l.f.'s website during their sale for half off. So something to think about. I don't know why it's called Prime and Stay Finishing Powder. I'm not sure. I use it as a setting powder. It is very soft. It blends really nicely, but the shade range, again, they kind of go a little bit on the darker side. So for me, maybe I should have got the sheer. This worked, not too bad. Alrighty, let's go ahead and talk about bronzer, blush, and all that. I do have quite a few of e.l.f.'s palettes, like the bronzer palette, the contour palette, the illuminating palette. I do have the blush palette. I would recommend every single one of them. Seriously, $6 palettes, I would recommend every single one of them. I don't have one of these palettes that I just don't like. They are $6, but you can get them on sale again for $3, half off. e.l.f. has a lot of the 50% off sales. Just wait for some sort of occasion, like, I don't know, Labor Day sale, or maybe they'll have a Valentine's Day sale coming up, or New Year's Eve sale. I don't know, but they do have a lot of those sales, and I really like all of the like 4-pan palettes. I have no complaints. But for today, I did use this guy, and this is the, is it called the Primer-Infused Bronzer? Something like that. And this is the shade Forever Sunkissed. These are all matte, whereas with the, let me grab one of the palettes. Okay, so for example, the e.l.f. bronzer palette, let me show you what it looks like. So there are 4 shades in here. You do get, well, pretty much are, well, only one of them is, I wouldn't say it's a full matte, it's more like a satiny thing. But a lot of them are, you know, shimmery, not matte, but they are beautiful. They blend so easily on the skin. You can customize and get your own, you know, make your own shade, you know. So here's all of them swatched, but I would really recommend this. But these are absolutely phenomenal. These stay on the skin all day long. Again, I do have the shade Forever Sunkissed. It is gorgeous. It is so soft. The other ones are really soft, but this is like buttery soft, like baby's butt soft. I really want to try their blushes from this line. I haven't tried any of them. Gorgeous, phenomenal, $6. I'm not gonna keep saying it. None, like the only thing that are new, I already mentioned, can't get for half off, but pretty much everything else you can get on half off. Let's talk about their illuminating palette. This might be the only one that I'm like, okay, you can skip this. It is good, it's really good, but it's not like a highlighter palette. I can't remember if they have a highlighting palette. Maybe I just don't have it. But this is not like bam in your face highlighter. So let's say you are using a matte bronzer, kind of like this guy, and you're like, okay, I want a little bit of shimmer or sheen to my skin. You can go in with the deeper shade in here, which is the bronzer shade. It has a little bit illumination, you add it to that. The same thing with the two, I would call these more like blush toppers. Again, if you are using a matte blush and you're like, okay, I feel like too matte, I want just a little bit of sheen, you can top it with those. So again, they're not like highlighter, blinding highlighter, but they do work kind of like the Essence Nude Highlighter. They work very similar to that, you know, very natural look. They do have a lot of their duos, like the 2-pan blush bronzer. I've tried pretty much every single one of them, and I love every single one of them. Some of them are they say they are dupes for the NARS, like maybe the St. Lucia shade. The bronzer is supposed to be a dupe for the NARS Orgasm Blush and the bronzer for the NARS Laguna. I haven't tested if they're actually dupes or not. I just really like them for what they are. I believe they're $4. Back in the day when I first used to buy them, they were $3, but they've raised their prices back in the day. I've been using e.l.f. since 2007. Let's talk about the blushes. This guy I absolutely fell in love with again, and that's what I'm wearing today. This is the Blushing Rose. See, this is what I mean. Like, you get the little sticker in the back, but what is the actual name of the product? I don't know. Let's look it up. It just says blush on their website. It's $3. I believe I have a couple different shades, or I used to have a couple different shades. Mellow Mauve I passed on to a friend because it suited her skin tone a lot more than me. Berry Mary I haven't tried. Blushing Rose, which is this guy. It looks, you know, it looks rosy, but it has like golden sparkle in it. So when you blend it on the skin, it's just like, oh, it looks stunning. Look at that. I mean, e.l.f. has been making these forever and they really are great. I did get a recommendation from a friend of mine to try the Candid Coral. I will be picking that guy up. But these are beautiful. Again, they've had these forever in their line. They're still there. They still work amazing. Let's do the highlighters. I did use 2 highlighters from their line today. I used the Shimmer Highlighting Powder. Wow, this guy actually has a real sticker on it on the back, and this is in the shade Starlight Glow. e.l.f.'s highlighters are kind of finicky. They need a special brush. They need a highlighter brush, something a little scratchy to actually pick up color. This is what that looks like. I've been wanting so many of these, like to try other shades from them, but I haven't. I would highly recommend this. $6 again. Again, you can find it on sale. Really love it. The other one that I did use, and I just don't know, people rave by these. They love them. I mean, I really like it, but it's not like, go out and buy this guy. No, I would say go out and buy this guy more than this guy. And this is the Baked Highlighter in the shade Blush Gems. At one point I had, I think there were 3 of them or 4 of them. At one point I had all of them. This is the only one that's still in my collection. There it is right there. Let me do another swatch in a more visible area. I feel like it looks a lot like Becca Opal. It's just a little bit drier. It needs a little bit more work. You really have to scrape the top layer of this. Again, they're really finicky, so they need a special brush to get the most color payoff, especially if you want a bam in your face highlighter. But it is beautiful. I mean, again, $3, really affordable. Comparing these to the Wet n Wild highlighters, the Mega Glow highlighters. Mega Glow highlighters are $5, but they don't require as much work to get really bam in your face highlight, where these, they really do, but you could get a really gorgeous look. I have both of them top today. I'm not gonna declutter them, but they're not my top recommendation from e.l.f. Okay, we're almost done. Wow, been rambling on forever. The new classics, e.l.f.'s new eyeshadow palette, the new classics. They first did the Opposites Attract palette, which I really wanted, and I might still pick it up. It reminded me a lot of Urban Decay Born to Run. But this guy, I saw this guy, and I kind of got Anastasia Beverly Hills sultry vibe from it, especially with some of these cooler tone shades. That's what I'm wearing on my eyes today. I absolutely love the formula. Like, wow, e.l.f. has come so far in their eyeshadow palettes. It's a dream to blend. The colors are absolutely beautiful. It is so easy to use. Okay, I haven't tried every single shade in here, but I've tried quite a few of the shades. This one right here, Platinum, which I have on my lid, the top lid, so beautiful. I did not need to use any settings like a wetting spray. I didn't have to wet my brush or anything like that. Just use my brush, or even with your finger. Gorgeous. I have used this rose gold shade. Again, gorgeous. I highly recommend this guy. There's what, 18 shades in here, $14. Again, this is one of their newer items, so you're not going to be able to get it on sale, but pretty much everything that's not new you can get on sale. I would totally recommend this guy. After picking this guy up, I kind of made up my mind that I really need the Opposites Attract, and I'm not gonna spend the $54 on the Urban Decay one, or $49, because this is $14. It was, seriously, I was so blown away using this guy. I wasn't planning on using this or talking about this until like I used it and I loved it and I had to tell you about it. And the fact that it reminds me of Anastasia Sultry for way less than Anastasia Sultry palette, and you get more shades, you get more warm tones, where the Sultry's a little bit more on the cooler side. Something to think about. One thing that I really love about this eyeshadow palette is finally someone listened and listed the names of the shades right under each shade. For a drugstore brand, I'm very thankful for that. For today's look, I used the shade Charmer in my crease and all over, like I took it quite high up under my brow. I used the shade Muse to deepen up the crease shade. I went in with the shade Black Cherry on my outer V. I used Platinum all over the top lid. I smudged a little bit of Noir on the lower lash line. I had a little bit of black liner and I smudged Noir on top of it, and then I topped it with Muse and a little bit of Darling, just kind of to blend it out so it doesn't, so it would be more like a blown out look, not just like poof, in your face. I would really recommend this. Again, I really love the fact that they have the shade names in there. It is so affordable. It's like not pigmented to the point that a new user can't use it, but it's pigmented that both like a beginner and advanced in makeup can really enjoy it. It blends like a dream. I have no complaints. And let's talk about this lip gloss that I have on today. And this probably is on the top of my list of lip glosses. Super duper comfortable lip glosses. And this is the Alyssa Ashley lip gloss in Nude Rose. Alyssa Ashley e.l.f. in Nude Rose. It is so beautiful. It is so comfortable on the lips. I remember when it first came out, it was always sold out. So as soon as I was able to find it on e.l.f.'s website, I ordered it and I paid the $5 shipping. It's worth every penny. I believe now it's no longer new, so you can get it for half off. Highly recommend. If you pick up anything from today that I talked about, this guy and this eyeshadow palette, you're not gonna be disappointed. And then the last thing that I used is the Makeup Mist and Set. I remember I used one of these way back in the day when I first started using setting spray, and I didn't really understand how great it was until I tried some other setting sprays and they disappointed me. Again, this product has been around for a really long time. I believe now they have a dewy one too. I haven't tried the dewy, I've only tried this guy. This is 60 mils. $4. I think they have a bigger size of these. I really like it. It does not prolong like my makeup, not anything near the Urban Decay All Nighter or anything like that, but it does set the face. It is I would say it's kind of similar to what is it called, the Wet n Wild, the Natural Finish setting spray. Kind of similar, although that gives you a little bit more glowy look. This just natural look. It makes everything look even, equal, sucks. It doesn't look powdery, doesn't look cakey. It's really nice. I would recommend this guy if you're on a hunt or if you really want an affordable setting spray. This guy is good. I might say the Wet n Wild one is a little bit better. I would recommend that over this, but they're both very similar, very close in price. I'm gonna say it one more time. You could get this for 50% off or 60% off. They do put this guy on sale. That was a lot of e.l.f. products, and I do have a lot more of e.l.f. products. So I do plan on doing a dupe video about with the primers, the under eye primer and the face primer. If you're interested in that, let me know in the comments below or give this video a thumbs up so I know that you would be interested and you would watch it. If you want me to go in more depth into the e.l.f. products that I do have in my collection, I have a lot more e.l.f. I was shocked at how many e.l.f. products I had, but I wanted to talk about some of their newer products for somebody who's just like, okay, hasn't been following e.l.f. for a really long time and just want to try something new. So that was the point of today's video. If you like this series and you would like to see more of this series, again, give this video a big thumbs up. I'm thinking maybe for the next Full Face Friday. I don't know, would you guys prefer if I actually use these products on camera? They would be really long videos, or do you like the recaps how I have been doing them? They are really long, so I don't know. Let me know what you think, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!